Hello everyone, this is the very first video in Python programming series. Okay, so uh, before directly jumping into programming world, I feel that for the completeness of the discussion of the topic, we need to go into a bit details of installation and some other necessary details, at least to a little extent. So first of all, the introduction part is Python was developed by this man and his name was Guido van Rossum. I hope my pronunciation is correct. And he worked on Python uh, in the late 80s and early 90s, and first release I hope it came in the year 1994. Okay. So Python by the way is copyrighted and its source code is available under GNU GPL license. GPL is General Public License, GNU GPL license. And now what Python is? Python is a high level interactive interpreted object oriented and scripting language. And what do we mean by this interpreted? Interpreted is nothing but the source code is directly run by the interpreter without being compiled. The source code, or in other words, the source code is executed directly. Whereas in case of C++ programming, you first need to compile your source code and then you run the executable code. Okay. So and one more this Python is basically slower, a bit slower than C and C++, but as you know, nowadays there has been significant improvement in the hardware and their performance. So the processor, RAM, they are available, and the processing speed has gone considerably higher. So in this world, so Python actually, in spite of the fact that it is a bit slower, but you will not catch it. It is beyond that human perception if you are using it on a very good hardware. Anyway, so C++ is a bit faster because it is nearer to the hardware. So anyway, that is not a very big disadvantage or drawback in today's world. So had it been in 20-25 years back, then there were no enough, hardware resources, like the processors were not too fast. But in today's world, you have very sophisticated and very fast hardware, so you don't have that problem. So anyway, salient features of Python programming. So Python provides a better structure and better support for large programs than shell scripting, and also supports this functional, structured, and OOPS programming method, object oriented programming method. Then Python supports this interactive mode of programming. So we shall come to it a bit later, this term interactive mode programming. So this actually sometimes it makes debugging procedure quite easier. And again, this Python is Python can run on wide variety of hardware platforms, so that means it is portable and it has same interface for on all platforms, meaning that you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about the hardware, the many different kinds of hardware that Python is installed. So wherever Python is installed, the you can write the code in the same way. The interfaces and writing the coding procedure is same, and it is portable. In fact, Python, you can You can do Python programming even in Raspberry Pi, which uses ARM processor. Okay, and the library. There are many pre-built libraries that supports many different functions. Bulk of libraries that are compatible in Unix or Linux, Windows, Mac, all these three platforms. And Python also supports GUI programming. uh, you can also do data analysis, that is data analysis, which has a big role to play in the business world. So you can do data analysis, graphical data analysis with the help of Python programming. So now these are the salient features. Now coming next, this interactive mode programming. These are what are these three years, how many different ways in how many different ways you can write Python programming and run. So there is one method is interactive mode programming. The second one is script mode programming. Again, script mode, you can write it. You can write script in any text editor, or you can run it in IDEs. So I shall show you basically in all these three modes how you can go and do Python programming. And I'll show you quite a 2-3 IDEs also, script mode also, all these. And now again some significant, there are two versions of Python actually available right now. One is Python 2, the other one is Python 3. Okay, you can actually find a lot of details about Python and their version in this website, that is python.org, and you can see the latest version. So this is Python 3.5.2 and this is Python 2.7.12. so this Python 2 is nothing but the older Python, which came into the market earlier, and after it came out in the market, so the programmers across the world, they felt that there are some changes probably that need to be made in Python. So then they release Python 3 with a little changes, little bit of changes than Python 2, but these two are pretty much similar, though they have their differences. At place. And in this website actually you can have a lot of details. For example, the documentation, you can see there are beginners guide, then developers guide, then Python 3 documentation, Python 2 documentation, many details. Now going back, so okay, one other thing. So in both in Windows and Linux systems, you can install and run Python 2 and Python 3 side by side without disturbing or interfering each other. So that means if you are using a Windows system, then you can install both Python 2 and Python 3 in your system, and you can run Python 2 and Python 3 simultaneously in different windows or different IDEs. Okay, so to now, if you are using Windows, then how you will install? You will just go to this website, you will download this one, either this one or this one, either this Python 3 or this Python 2 or both of them. Okay, so if you install it in Windows system, then you will get one IDE called idle, IDLE. You know, it is written as this is IDLE, and that gets automatically installed once you install these two. You know, there are two different, you know, idle version of idle that gets installed. For example, with this one Python 3, you will get a you know, idle screen for Python idle 3 for this Python 3, and for this one Python 2.7 you will get one other window, that is idle 2. So in Linux, so what happens is, if your system is Windows, then you, once you install this, I am repeating, once you install Python 3, you automatically, you know, install idle 3 also, this idle 3. And if you install Python 2, you automatically install idle 2 in Windows. However, in Linux it is not saying. You can, in Linux system, you can download these and you can install, but idle, you know, you have to install it separately. For example, in my system, I'll just go by, you know, step by step how I shall go by. So in my system, I have installed both Python 2 and Python 3. Okay, so I'll now go to my dash and I'll type for terminal, and I'll open up with the terminal. I need actually one more terminal. So you know, these two terminals I have. This is one and this is two. Okay, so, and now what I want to do is, I shall you can see basically I told you that I have installed two versions of Python. So, and this one. So this one I'll see how and where I have installed Python 2 and Python 3. See, in Linux, in Ubuntu, if you install your Ubuntu operating system, then you get, you know, Python 2 inbuilt. So you don't have to, you know, install it separately, Python 2. So for example, I'll write here Python and I'll press enter, and you can see here basically, you know, this is Python 2.7.6 that is already installed, but Python 3 I have installed after installing my operating system. So here I shall just write Python 3, and you can see this Python 3.4.3. okay, as I told you, you can install both Python 2 and Python 3 in the same system without, and you can run, you know, both Python 2 and Python 3 without interfering or disturbing each other. So now we shall just see how it happens. This is one thing, and second part what it will come as, like, I just run something Python 2 and Python 3, and I'll talk a little bit about the differences also, so that it makes clear to you actually how it is different and whether it is different or not. Though it is showing, it is clear from here, Python 2 and Python 3, but I'll just, you know, do it and I'll see what happens. So first I'll write something as hello world to check whether my installation is correct or not. So I'll just, you know, hello world, and I'll write it here too. Okay, and I'll just enter, and you can see I get the output hello world 2. Okay, now I'll write the same statement in different way. I'll use parentheses so that it looks somewhere as if I am passing a string to my string as a parameter to my function, to a function called print. So I'll just do it, and you can see here I write here hello world 2. Again I write hello world 2, and I run, and you can see both these statement, they run absolutely fine. So it is almost certain that my installation is successful, Python 2. Now I'll come to this window where I opened this Python 3. So I'll write first I'll write print, and I'll execute it like hello world, and in order to distinguish I shall use this number 3. Okay, and I'll run, and this one also it runs absolutely fine. Now I'll do it the other way, like this. I'll not use parenthesis at this point of time, and I'll see what happens. So hello world, and this is 3, and you can see it is basically throwing me an error, showing the fact that it does not support this syntax. Okay, this syntax error. So it is a fact that this modern programming, almost in all modern programming languages, you pass this string as a parameter to your function. For example, in C or C++, you pass it as as a parameter to a function, and then it gets displayed. So whatever it is, but Python 3 does not support the simple simply within this double inverted comma, double quotation. Okay, it does not support. Okay, now coming to the second part, there are some other differences, like I'll first go for 5 divided by 2. Okay, I'll enter. See, I'm now in Python 2, so I'll do the same thing here, 5 divided by 2, and I'll see what happens. You can see you get here 2.5, whereas you get here 2 only. So here we get the whole number, only the quotient part. It ignores the decimal part, whereas in Python 3 the interpreter is designed in such a way that it gives you the decimal part also. So for example, we just I think 4 divided by 3 4 divided by 3, and you can see it is showing me many decimal, the decimal part. How many decimal places? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, whereas I do the same thing here and I get only 1, the quotient part, and for remainder part I can even use this one, modular operation or percentage. So this one you can see just 8 5, you can see, you can do basically tidbits like 4 3. So that is all. So it means that you can write both instances of this Python version, Python 2 and Python 3. Now now I'll go back and I'll show you basically, though they you can see that they both are running, but their interpreter are installed in different location with different name. For example, I'll just go here, and I'll write something which Python 3. Okay, so this will provide me the path where the interpreter of Python 3 is, the path for this Python 3 interpreter. And here I'll again go back and I'll write which Python, and it provides me, it is also in the same location but with different name. This is Python and this is Python 3, or this is even, I think it is installed in the name of Python 2 also. Yes, so this Python 2 or Python, this is exactly the same thing. You can go into the Python programming mode by typing Python 2 and press enter, and you can see you exactly enter the same place, this Python 2.7.6. So okay, now these are command line terminals. These are command line terminals where you can, these are nothing but the first thing, this interactive mode programming. So whenever you do this interactive mode of programming, you basically go and use these terminals like these. So now I'll show you like the other kinds, like how now okay, I'll go out of it. I'll go out of these also, and I'll go by programming into an IDE. That is as I told you about idle IDE is there. It is almost like command line interface, but let's assist it. In Windows, it automatically gets installed with the Python MSI or exe files which you download from python.org, but in case of Ubuntu, you have to install it separately. So I'll just type here in my dash IDLE, and you can see here there are two IDEs, idle 2.7 and this is idle 3.4. So I'll first click into Python idle 2.7, and okay, just give it some minutes. Fine. And the other one is Python 3.4. okay, anyway, and okay, now I'll just show you how it happens. Like I'll just this is, by the way, this is Python 2.7.6 and this is Python 3.4.3. so I'll just write here something like again hello world, and for distinction I'll put the number hello world 2. You can see here, and I'll write down here hello world. This is hello world 3, and I'll print it so it runs absolutely fine. It seems absolutely fine. Okay, so now I think now I'll just get out of it and I'll show you one other way that you can do it. So okay, So this one is script mode. Now I shall show you this script mode programming, where you basically use text editor. So for as I use text editor, I'll go by something like terminal, okay, and I'll see what happens. So where I'll just a minute. Okay, so here basically I make use of Vim text editor. I have already installed it, or you can use some other sophisticated, modern, not so modern text editor also, but in my case I shall use Vim editor, and for that I will go to my, just a minute, and I will go to, okay, fine. Okay, so with this I'll just start. As you can see, there is no files here currently available, so I'll create one new this one. I again repeat, I'll show this one, script mode programming. That means I shall prepare one script. So I'll write something, python 2.py, and whenever you are writing any script in text, in text editor or in any IDE, you should you have to save that file with the extension .py. As you can see, .py. So I'll just enter, and I'll just a minute. Okay, so I guess, but anyway, I'll just this one. As you can see, basically this one I'll go for one other also, and I'll do it. I hope this is clearly visible to you. So this one. Now here I'll just write something at the very first line. I'll just write something like, I'll first have to provide the path for the Python interpreter. So in this one, I shall use Python 2 interpreter. So I'll use one line called as shebang line. So that is pound symbol, hash symbol, and then exclamation mark, and then USR or USR bin Python. Okay, this is for USR bin Python. So this I get from which Python. So that means this is the path for the Python interpreter, Python 2 interpreter. Okay, you can use Python 2 also. It will provide you exactly the same output. So I'll now come down and I'll write my first comment. I'll just write some comment, as it is very much normal in any programming languages. So for writing some comment, we use again pound symbol, and I'll just write, this is a comment. Okay, and now here I'll write print, and this is Python 2 I'm using. So I'll use hello world. Okay, hello world, and I'll just save it now. Okay, I'll save it and I'll now run this command. Okay, I'll first see. Okay, I don't have the execution execution permission for this python2.py. You know this because the color of this is white. So if you have the execution permission, it will turn into a brightish green or something like that. I don't know what is. So now you can see, if you Python and if you press tab, it will not work basically. So what you need to do is you have to change its permission, and you have to make it executable for the present user. So I'll just do the same, and now you can see that its color has changed, so meaning that you can now run this script. So I'll just enter, and you can see here basically the hello world, the output, and here also I'll again go to the same this one. This is not required basically. I'll do it here only. So here I'll make one other. I'll make it full screen. Okay, no problem. I'll go to the same location that I went, and then Python, and I'll press enter, and I'll see these are Python2. So I'll again create one python3.py and st:. Okay, so now I'll just first the bang line, that is the path for the interpreter, USI being Python3. Now you have to write Python3 because it will be interpreted by something, and I'll again use some comment. I'll just come to this point. This is a comment. Okay, and now you can see print. I'll write something. Okay, and I'll write hello world, and I'll again write something, and just to confirm that it is using Python3 interpreter. So I'll write something, welcome to the Python world. Okay, so I'll now save it, and I'll again I have to change that what is that called, execution permission. python3.py, and now you can see. So I'll write it as python3, and I see there is a some syntax error. So it is now confirmed that this now it is confirmed that we are actually running Python3 interpreter. So I'll go back. What I'll do is I'll go back and I'll rectify my mistake, and I go here. Okay, Now I suppose it is absolutely fine. I now run this and this works absolutely fine. Now one other point that I should mention is that I talked about this bank line or shebang line. Now I'll go a bit further, Vim, and you can see this one. What I shall do is anyway, okay, leave it for you. Okay, fine. So what if what if I write some comment? Suppose this is unnecessary. Okay, this is unnecessary, and I shall now save this command. Okay, and go out. Okay, now I see this is Python 3. Okay, so now I shall run this command, run this script, and you can see there is an error. There is an error. So why that error? The fact is that I'll go back into the code. Vim, you can see the first line, this first line. So this first line should always be this this one, this bank line, shebang line, or path for the compiler. So okay, so I'll just now delete. I'll now delete. Okay, and now again I shall save, and I'll come out and I'll run this script, and again it is error. So meaning that just a minute. Meaning that this one, this bank line or this path for this interpreter, it should be at the very first line. If you put it in the second, number 2, it will not work properly. So you put it at number 1. That means very first line. So now I will save it, and I'll come out and I'll run this script. It works absolutely fine now. Okay, I'll again see, this is, and the script I'll run, and it works absolutely fine. The meaning is that you have to put that bank line at the very first line, or the path for that interpreter should be at the very first line. Now again you can see here, basically I use £1 symbol, hash symbol, and here also hash symbol. So this hash symbol is used for this comment. And these two are different. Basically, when you use one exclamation mark after this pound symbol, then it becomes bank line, or the path to the interpreter. And this one is, there is, as you can see, there is no exclamation symbol. So this is just a simple comment that we use in programming world. So I just come out, and now I think I done with. There are some more things remaining. Okay, so I think explained this one also. You can install both Python 2 and Python 3 side by side without interfering each other. So I have shown you in Linux, but it is it is true even for Windows. In Windows also you can install both Python 2 and Python 3 and you can run both of them without interfering each other. Okay, so now okay, one other very important thing is, like in C, C++ and Java, a block of code which I'll come a little later, I mean in the later videos. Block, we use pair of curly braces, opening curly braces and closing curly braces, to indicate a block of code. But in Python actually we you know in Python we make use of line indentation to indicate the fact that we are actually using a block of code. So in Python world, a block of code is ensured by proper line indentation, which is rigidly enforced, and if we make any mistake in line indentation, that it will throw some or the other kind of error, or your program may not work properly. Okay, so I think that's it. That is it. Just a minute. And okay, that's it. I think that's complete the first video. Thank you.